Arts graduates across the developed world often complain bitterly about the difficulties they face finding good employment. They spend long and costly years studying such subjects as history, art, philosophy, poetry and drama. Then they reach the jobs market and discover that no one has any use for their distinctive skills and interests. If they're extremely lucky, they may find some kind of job, but it will almost certainly have no connection with what they studied or pay very much. A great number end up making coffee while deeply resenting, against the backdrop of frothing milk and roasting beans, how their years studying Foucault or Spinoza seem to have gone absolutely nowhere.
What does art mean to you?
After going through key stages 1 to 4, if a student decides to continue art-related studies, the general process for this in the UK is the student will choose to study art at sixth form or college, hopefully obtain enough UCAS points to get into university. Arts universities are otherwise known as art schools. There is a variety of courses on offer for undergraduate students.
Art's just too weird, and architecture's very early on in the prospectus.
Having such a variety of courses in art-based subjects is probably unfamiliar to most undergraduate students, as the bog standard sort of art course at school is just called art and design.
Yes, I've been interested in art from an early age. I think it was because all the rest of my family weren't interested in art, so it gave me something that I could do that was my own. Yeah.
It has been argued that the last explosive and innovative change in art school education came nearly a century ago with the formation of the German Bauhaus. Walter Gropius, the founder of this iconic establishment, and many of the best known teachers of art believe that art cannot be taught. It's about creating an environment in which creativity can happen naturally. It seems the most important thing about an art school is that it's the creation of a sympathetic ambience in which people can feel comfortable and free to act according to their own instincts.
It was actually the only way that I could kind of understand a university degree was doing a fine art course, in that it was a completely open course. It was a course that if you were convicted and if you held yourself on enough, you could practice anything that you wanted.
love? Do you believe in life after love? I feel something inside me saying I really don't think you're strong enough now. Do you believe in life after love?
You know, an arts degree is one, yet you're furthering your education, but you're also doing something that you love doing, you know.
Witam cię ze żołtem zabrano, приятели и вино съм забравил. Ето ме отново сам на прага. Нека вляза, нека ти разкажа.
Did art in school, in junior school and infant school, slightly put off in senior school by the arts teacher, who just really wanted us to draw like she drew. If you didn't draw like she did, you didn't get a good mark. And then didn't pursue it to further, you know, sort of education after that.
I realised I was making things that didn't make any sense anywhere else. So I really hated art because I met some people who said they were artists and I thought they were dickheads. So I decided I wouldn't study art or become an artist, and then I met some who were really nice and realised that the dickheads I'd met were just dickheads. And then I realised that lots of the strange things I've been doing, which didn't make sense, were sort of bits of art, really.
There'll be a return to art education, because ultimately the impact on industry and not being able to solve problems and all those things I talked about before will mean that we haven't got creative thinkers, we haven't got creative, all sorts of things, creative skills will be lost. And also that, you know, there's been so many kids who just fall through the sort of like cracks because it's the creative stuff that they're good at and they're going to not get education and all the rest of it.
It can be used for much more than other courses can be. It allows anyone that has had anything to say a slightly, you know, closer platform.
Yes.
Do you see arts as a lesser?
Yes.
Why?
I wanted to learn skills, yeah, and I feel like I haven't done that. But everything I have gained from it, you could gain from any degree, I think. So like confidence, independence, meeting new people. The collaboration, I guess, is not necessarily like a big thing in other courses, so I like that sort of element of it. But it's all off your own back, really. Like, you can either do as little as much as you want or as much as you want. Like, we've done a shitload, but there's other people in the course that haven't done anything with it, so it's like what you make of the course yourself.
Really important for figuring out oneself.
Who you are.
Yeah, I think they're really useful to get in tune with yourself and your brain and the way you see the world. You got me there, Kez.
Surely you did your essay on, you know, why the world needs arts degrees.
Is it a selfish act to do an arts degree?
But you could say that about becoming a rich businessman, you know. What isn't a selfish act in this world that we live in?
What's the energy exchange of an arts degree?
Well, you put a lot of time and effort in and maybe you get back happiness and no money. And other people get money.
The majority of people who work here have got art degrees. One girl's got a textile degree, Carl's got a fashion degree, Chris is illustration, and so is Martin. Everyone, John's a photographer, so everyone does a little bit, but unfortunately there isn't a huge amount of money out there for practicing artists to work fully as a practicing artist. So most people here do this little job on the side, still being in the art world, but then are able then to continue with their own art, but still able to afford things like food and rent.
What do you think about art students?
nice inwards, isn't it?
I feel like it's more about let's just get a degree because we want a degree.
No, it's not. It's a very philosophical.
It's like floristry.
It's a nice thing, but
do you want a David Beckham?
Won't get you anywhere.
Not it's a very capitalist place, and they don't want individualism.
I studied art at GCSE level. We had to draw animal patterns. I drew a giraffe, and my art teacher, Miss Law, absolute cunt, said it needed more green in it. And as far as I'm concerned, giraffes have got no green in them.
That's the question. Wow! Did learn a lot more about yourself as well. I think through making and playing learn a lot.
No, go on. yeah, of course. Sorry. No, it's okay. It's not like a refined film.
It just makes you look at the world. So that's the point. It makes you more.
It's not good lighting. Jess, you're really dragging this out. It was meant to be a speedy time lapse into the building. To be fair, that's what art school's like though. It's all about the back and forth, you know.
It's good because obviously it gives a relief to anything else that's academic and gets us to look at things in different ways, not just necessarily sort of like geography and history, but also to look at art history. So I think it's very beneficial for it to continue in some form or other.
Point of art education, just to contribute to society, I think it's fantastically important because you're finding different ways of problem solving, finding ways of working literally with shades of things and looking at things in different ways and really studying things, all these transferable skills that you don't really get in the other subjects, and that's the value for me of art education.
Yeah.
Really unpack what art might be. They can only really, because the criteria for the A-level is quite limited, it's kind of, well, you've got to prove you can whatever it is. So then, the fault isn't really with people who are teaching that stuff, it's what they're told to teach. One of the things that's really good about sort of a BA course, or potentially really good about BA courses, is that you can get rid of all of that.
What is the point of an art degree?
I think the main point is initially the main point of an art degree is it's a personal thing, it's a journey that you go on, and through doing that you then give value to the world through your ability to express stuff in ways that it hasn't been expressed before, in ways that can change people's thinking and people's lives. So it's you become personally empowered, but it's it becomes a major force for good. It's a political force. It's whatever you want to make it into.
I think for me it just means to think things in a different way and to allow yourself to realise that you are allowed to be, how and who you want to be, and that there's no shame in expressing that. I think when you look at everything as a piece of art, things are a lot more nicer, like before.
God knows.